Welcome back to Amateur Game Review, the video game review channel where you get two unqualified opinions that you definitely should not base your opinion off of. Today we're talking about a game that just came out. It is an indie title called 12 Minutes. Let's jump in. So, like we said, today we're doing a game called 12 Minutes. Mason, why don't you give us a little bit of overview of what 12 Minutes is?
So 12 Minutes is a point-and-click mystery thriller from former Ubisoft and Rockstar writer Louis Antonio. Like the title says, you have 12 minutes to interact with the world before everything except your memory resets. The events are typically the same every loop. You come home and the wife tells you she made dessert, you do you for a bit, and eventually Willem Dafoe comes barging in to accuse your wife of murdering her father. And then he strangles you, which resets the loop, and you gotta do all that all over again. It's basically a Stanley Kubrick director's cut of Groundhog Day.
Honestly, that pretty much explained the whole entire game, because this is a very, very simple game. I had no idea what this game was going in. You had just told me, hey, grab this game, it's supposed to be really good, and so I downloaded it and I just started. And it has been a very long time since I have beat a game in one setting, or even wanted to.
You liked it that much?
Oh, I liked it that much. And I know what you're thinking. Well, the game's only 12 minutes. No, it's much longer than 12 minutes.
You could it'll probably take you, I think it took me around 3 to 4 hours total.
I think it took me a little bit less. I think it was maybe 2.5, but you completely nailed the basics of the game. First and foremost, it is a point and click. And like any point and click, they're mostly puzzle games.
This game does not hold your hand at all. Some of the puzzles can be tedious.
Yeah, they can be very tedious. And some of them are very hard to figure out. And that's a staple of the point and click genre, is like these very hard puzzles. But this doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like it's like, oh, I've got to find a shoelace to tie to a net to figure out that I can float this boat. It's not that kind of puzzle. Everything makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
Everything ties to the mystery of the game.
It's very addicting and it's very stressful at times because I know what I want, but I can't get to it.
Yeah. But what's cool is I've noticed if you say the wrong thing or do something wrong, she'll get pissed at you.
Yeah.
And she will just not talk to you like every other wife.
Yeah. And speaking of talking to you, that is one of the game's biggest positives, and that's the voice acting.
Yes. This game has Willem Dafoe, who's an amazing actor. It has James McAvoy, who's Professor Xavier.
Yeah, what more do you need to say? Professor X is in
and
this
Daisy
game.
Ridley. I can take her or leave her, though.
It didn't sound like Daisy Ridley to me. Like I kept looking for that Star Wars sound. It wasn't there.
To be honest, though, I think she's probably the worst out of the three. Her American accent did not sound genuine to me at all.
This was, for an indie game, some of the best voice acting I've ever seen. But it didn't have indie game voice actors. It had stars.
Yes.
It had stars.
But the only reason it had these stars is because of COVID. The actors were out of work, so they were like, hey, we need something to do. Let's do a video game.
Yeah. Hey, COVID had to make something better. At least it was 12 minutes.
Yeah. Also of note is the atmosphere in this game. There's only one level, your apartment.
That's it.
It's a dinky, one-bedroom apartment, and it feels lived in.
Very. I mean, it's basically 2 rooms and a small bathroom. It's not hard to make that amount of space feel lived in, but they still nailed it.
Yeah. It's a stormy night. It's just this game is oozing with atmosphere. It feels like I'm a film buff. It feels like a Kubrick or a David Fincher film.
Yeah. I don't know who those people are, but no, it does feel like a very creepy film, and like down to the points where I noticed anytime I did something that was too loud, if I slammed a door, if I found like a gun or something and I actually fired it,
you'll hear the baby.
Yeah, you'll hear someone else in their apartment like reacting to the noises that you make, and then you got a baby crying the rest of your loop. But it's very subtle and in the background. It's not annoying. It's atmospheric.
When the storm starts rolling in, if you go to the bathroom, or sorry, not the bathroom, the bedroom, when the thunder hits, you'll hear a cat outside screaming.
Oh, really? I never even seen that.
There's so much detail, especially in the audio, that I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what could possibly be there.
Yeah, there is a lot there, and it's very fun to try to figure out what all there is there and what all you can do. There were a couple points where a few loops, I wasn't trying to solve anything. I was trying to just, mess with some of the boundaries.
Yeah, mess around or just see what's possible.
Yeah. So basically, that's the whole entire game. It is 12 minutes. You're just going to play the same 12 minutes over and over again. So what do you think about 12 minutes? Give us your final thoughts.
When I was reading about some interviews from the devs, he said during the playtesting, this game, they were divided. They loved it, and some hated it.
The playtesters.
Yes, there was nothing in the middle. You either love it or hate it.
I like that. I think that not enough games make their game, or not enough developers make their games controversial enough anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid to take risks and stuff.
But I like how he didn't change it.
Yeah.
He said, you know what, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
You're either going to love it or hate it.
Well, which side did you fall on?
I loved it.
Okay, give me your score.
I'm going to give it 11 out of 12.
For 12 minutes? Oh
Yep.
my god, that's the cringiest thing I've ever... Whatever, I'll allow it. Every time I do a review with Mason, I miss Randy. So, I completely can see what you were talking about with the playtesters. Either you love it or you hate it. I fell in a little bit of both category. There were... I'll just say this. I'm going to give it a 91 out of 100. And that's because 90% of the game I loved, and then there was this 10% that just kind of irked me. And it was small things. Some of the voice acting, it wouldn't line up, like we talked about. Like they would get, I would have her so mad at me, and then I would ask a different question, and then she'd be back to normal. Like that's not how real life works.
No.
And it's just, that's
Right,
little
little
things, but it just broke immersion a little bit.
Yeah.
And then other things, like I'm completely fine with how long the game was. Like I love experiences like that. To me, it was like a better medium than movies because you're getting all of that, like, and you have the same replayability. You know what I mean? Because
honestly, you could probably beat it in the same time as a movie.
yeah, you could. That's what this was more like an experience than a video game. This story is very out there. It's very divisive, just like the reviews. All right, well, that was our thoughts on the game, but you're watching a review for a reason. You're trying to figure out if you should play this game or not, and I'm going to tell you that you absolutely should play this game. Whether you end up loving it or hating it, you will enjoy the experience of playing it. Thank you guys for watching the video. We really, really appreciate it. Every little view.
We love you.
Yeah, I can't say this enough. Every time someone even comments, like I feel like a little kid who's
I get all giddy.
yeah, it's like the captain of the football team talked to me in the hallway. Like I'm so excited. But I really appreciate you guys watching the video, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.